Hey guys, welcome to our little side piece of the Infuriated Show. This one is dedicated to people that you know. They could be your neighbor, that guy walking down the street, your mother, maybe even you. Again, I must emphasize that this show is strictly for ages 18 and older. If you are easily offended, please do not listen to us. We are very rude and crude and make a lot of sexual innuendos. And if you are easily offended and willing to listen to this show, despite all the warnings, then this episode is dedicated to you. This is a special victims unit with our amazing host, Halfurious.
Hey, thank you very much, Mental. Welcome, everybody, to our new show. These are part of what we call the closed door sessions. These are topics that are a little more serious. Of course, we're always going to try to be amusing and entertaining. We fail at that a lot, I believe, but we try. So we should get an E for effort. Just want to reiterate what Mental said. This show, like I said, is more serious related. These will be short episodes. Like our normal season is 12 episodes. These will be 4 to 6, covering different topics. And our first one is called Special Victims Unit. So what we're going to be talking about is victimhood mentality, the way that the modern times, it's kind of cool to be a victim. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But first, Mental, who's our guest tonight?
Our guest today is a tough-skinned little mama who I've had the pleasure of getting to know, Miss Vaela from Fury.
Hey,
Howdy. Howdy ho.
how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm peach keen. How are y'all?
I'm good.
Yeah, good.
You're here?
Here, because I'm not all there.
So, Vaela, what we're really wanting to talk about, and this is kind of an open forum discussion. Me and Mental are going to be bouncing some ideas off of you. I just kind of want to get your take on this whole victimhood mentality thing. So, when you hear the words or the phrase victimhood mentality, kind of what comes to, and before we get started, I do want to just take a second out to say, we're not making fun of people that are truly victims. That is an absolutely horrible thing, depending on what it is. But I do believe that the whole woe is me, I'm a victim, I've been attacked, I've been this or that, it kind of gets blown way out of proportion by people. And I actually really believe that it takes away from people that truly have been victimized. But going with that question, Vaela, what do you think about when you hear that?
I do want to say what, your little spiel, that was very well said. And, it does correlate with, it does take away from people that are, victims of whatever circumstance, with people that I have found that use, oh, I'm a victim of this, that, the other, just because they were rubbed the wrong way. It takes away from actual serious matters at hand, and they use that mentality as an easy out just so they don't have to face either the consequences of their own actions or, put even some, boundaries in place. Instead of saying, hey, this kind of, rubbed me wrong, they're just going to say, well, now I'm a victim and you're triggering me and now I need a safe space, instead of, addressing the issue at hand.
I hate that word trigger. I'll talk about that in a minute.
You know what it reminds me of? Do you guys remember when, I think it was Maui, it was Hawaii, they had a big catastrophe, and Joe Biden was doing a speech on it, and he was yeah, there was one time that my kitchen caught fire, and he was I guess trying to be relatable, but it's okay, bro, your kitchen caught fire. You didn't lose your whole neighborhood. What?
Yeah, your community wasn't lost. You still had easy means to go to work, to buy groceries, to live life, whereas these people are absolutely devastated and they don't know where they're going to pick, how they're going to pick up the pieces, but go off, king.
Yeah, right.
Right. Like your neighbor Bobby wasn't out mowing the grass and then just instantly vaporized by volcanic lava and ash, right?
Right.
What the fuck?
Exactly.
No, I think you're absolutely right. It actually brings me even into something that's a little more modern. Is this whole and I know this is going to be questioned, and people are probably going to roast me and set me on fire. But everybody knows I'm misogynist, sexist, homophobe, xenophobe.
Everything a phobe.
Did I miss?
Yeah, all the phobes you can list, that is you.
Okay. So now that we've got that out of the way, so it even brings me to this whole college campus, pro Hamas, yada yada. And I'm going to speak to this because I feel like I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I am not, considering I was over there fighting fucking terrorists a number of years ago, and I've been in third world countries. And when I see these people, some of them are anti-Semitic, some of them aren't. Some of them, I think, are just misled with the whole Palestinian, whatever. And, I'm sure Israel is coming down with a heavy hand over there. But would we be any different? Didn't we go and just completely annihilate two countries because of 9/11? We did.
Right.
We absolutely did. And we weren't going to let anybody tell us. Nobody was going to say, no, America, you can't do that. We'd said, hold our beer and watch us. So some of these people are talking about all these things, and they're really just not educated, and they have this feigned disdain, this feigned offense, and they have no clue. They've never been to a third world country. They don't know. Like, our homeless people here are like middle class in some of these places. Like, for real, go to Iraq or go to Iran or go to, the area there with the Palestinians. Like, the people are fucking poor. Like, they have a lot better things to do. And then we have all these people that are offended by the war and stuff like that. Personally, I'm not a big fan of war. Been there, done that. It's not like the movies. It's not cool. So, I just wanted to throw that out there because you've got all this, and I call it faux rage. It's not even real. Like, you don't even know what you're talking about. How are you so... And then they act like they're the victims.
Well, and it's like it's like they just want to be mad just to be mad. Like,
exactly.
Anything. I'm grasping at straws. Like, anything I'm going to be mad about and I'm going to be upset about, and it's going to be drama. It's going to be an issue. And that's what frustrates me.
And that's how it is nowadays if I'm mad, I'm going to make it everybody's issue.
Right.
And,
now it's your fault.
Like, the whole Palestine, Hamas, and Israel thing is everyone's mad at these celebrities for not, doing anything, because this is also going to ruffle some feathers of the celebrities are an issue in and of itself, but also don't put that pressure on them. Put that pressure on our government officials. If you're wanting something done, if you want someone to be proactive about it, don't go to your fucking, your local, singer, actress, whoever. Go to the people that have the power to actually do something about it. Then, Black, Kim Kardashian, Drake, all those people.
Hold on. We could probably solve all this by just sending Tom Cruise over there like Mission Impossible.
Bro.
No, bring Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris. The whole Expendables team.
He'll fucking bring the beard, okay?
So the things with celebrities, when celebrities start talking, they really kind of piss me off. It's like, dude, I don't want to hear about your political whatever. Like, Jim Carrey, what did he say? He wanted to beat Trump with a 9-iron. I'm really not interested in that, Jim Carrey. Just like, make another Mask movie or something. Make me laugh. Like, I don't really want to hear about your political affiliations and all this stuff. And then if you've done any research, as you were talking about a natural disaster, like when Hawaii had the eruption of the volcano. Do you guys remember Haiti and the Clinton Foundation?
I was a baby, but yes.
Yes.
Okay. So everybody came together to help these people, and of course they had horrible earthquakes and bad things happened over there. But the people of Haiti the Clintons, like with a deep-seating passion, because they took and used this thing and they totally went over there with a bunch of money and screwed that country up. They got rid of their police and all these different things, and like it's pretty interesting. So if you ever want an interesting deep dive, look into the why Haiti hates the Clintons. It's pretty interesting.
I hate the Clintons for all sorts of reasons.
I was gonna say that's not hard to do.
Right. It all started with Monica Lewinsky. That was the start of it for me.
Hey. He put the joint in his mouth, but he didn't inhale. Okay?
He did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Exactly.
And here's the thing, like, was she a victim?
Yeah, probably. I bet you she was. I mean, how are you going to say no to the fucking president? I'm sorry. Like, isn't that pressure in itself? Just saying.
Yeah, and then 20 years later, you see what his wife's doing to people who bitch about her emails?
Right.
Yeah, all of a sudden people are just offing themselves left and right. It's so weird.
Yeah. They're shooting themselves in the back of the head?
Yeah, right? Right?
Well, that kind of brings all this stuff out. So I know you guys have heard like the whole thing of like, and I'm going to go dark here for just a second. And again, I'm really not trying to offend anybody, but I do think it's something worth talking about, or I wouldn't be bringing it up. So we have the classic scenario of like a rape victim, for example. And a lot of people will say, you know, the whole cliche thing is like, well, she was dressed a certain way that made her more susceptible. And then there's other people that are like, well, you know, nobody should, you know, ever have to worry about somebody putting their hands on them, right? Well, and that could be rape or anyway, anything, right? You shouldn't be able to put your hands on me. It's against the law. It's disrespectful. It's whatever. Right. And I 100% agree. The problem is, and here's the problem that I see, and you guys may or may not agree with me on this. The problem is we have to remind ourselves that we live in reality. And reality isn't storybook time. It's not what we think should be. It's what is. And the problem is that there are some people that give a fuck less about what the law says or about what your feelings are. Would you agree with me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So we live in this day and age where I feel like a lot of people are like, well, that's not right and that shouldn't happen. And you're right, that shouldn't happen. However, it does. So, and I'm not gonna gotta be careful how I say this. I'm not gonna say that because somebody dresses a certain way that they deserve what they get. However, I do believe that we have a society that thinks that people who get themselves into situations or find themselves in situations, whether it be whatever. I do believe that sometimes there is a little bit of responsibility on you, me, whoever finds themselves in that situation, is to like, we should be actively trying to avoid those kind of situations. Like if I'm walking down a dark alley in a big city and there's like a couple of dudes that are like smashing beer bottles against the wall and walking down there, I'm probably going to try to pull away and get myself to a safe thing. Now, if those guys come over and mug me and beat the ever-living shit out of me, is that my fault? No, obviously not. But I do have like a little bit of responsibility to be self-aware and to like defend myself. Like that's, you know, nobody's going to look out for you. Is I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like you've got to be your own advocate. You've got to be your own personal security. You've got to be your own self-defense, you know, bodyguard, whatever. Like you've got a little bit of taking your responsibility for your own life in your hands. I mean, do you see where I'm coming from?
I see where you're coming from. It reminds me of that whole thing that's going on Facebook or whatever that I think it all started like with your daughter or some shit like that. Like would you rather your daughter be out in the woods with a bear or with a strange man? And 90% of everybody, I don't even know what the percentage is, but a big chunk of people are like, I'd rather her be out there with the fucking bear, because the bear's not, the bear's either gonna kill you or not. Like, the bear's not gonna come back and be like, oh, well, she deserved that, or she was asking for it, or, like, turning around and being like, well, that, like, anyways, like, gaslighting and being like, it's, yeah, like, the bear's just gonna kill you, and that's gonna be the end of it, or it's not. And that's the end of it. There's not, like, some hidden agenda behind it. And I agree that, like, yeah, obviously if you're walking down a dark alleyway, like, you shouldn't be walking down a dark alleyway. Like, trust and believe. I used to think that I could kick a dude's ass. And trust and believe, I was put in my place, like, a few times. And I now know that even the skinniest motherfucker I cannot take down, okay? Like, I'm not that strong. So, I don't know. It's like, yeah, I just wouldn't be walking down a dark alleyway at this point in time in my life,
Right. Well, we're built different, right? Men are more appropriate for certain things, and women, I feel like, are more appropriate for other things, and we have our strengths and weaknesses. Heather wants to jump in.
I want to jump in on this conversation.
Okay.
So I agree with the whole defending yourself or whatever y'all were fucking saying. But here is my take on it. People say, oh, she was wearing slutty clothes, yada, yada, yada. What about the fucking kids in this? Like, kids are raped every fucking day.
And I know sometimes they are wearing Dora the Explorer.
Hot.
For someone to look at a kid that way is sick anyway, but I don't know.
No, I think you're right. Well, that's a mental illness, I believe, that, people that are pedophiles. I'm a pedophilophobe. Not really pedophilophobe. I just want to destroy them all.
Right. I mean, weed out the weak, right?
Children or not, because most children dress however their parents dress them.
Sure.
And which nowadays is fucking slutty. Sorry, but
Bro,
moms are dressed fucking sluts.
Do you see that where you guys are at? Do you see the kids are being dressed?
Oh, dude, like, I've seen, like, two-piece freaking, like, bikini-type swimsuits, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's cute on a little girl or whatever. Would I buy that and put that on my little girl? Fuck no. Fuck no. Like,
or they'll put their kids in two tops. I'm like, absolutely not. My kid's going to be wearing trolls. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But either way, whether they're dressed like that or not, because, I mean, first of all, I just don't agree with parents dressing their kids like that. Like, I would never. My dad would beat me. Secondly, like, keep your fucking hands to yourself. That's all it is to it. Keep your fucking hands to yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anybody would argue that, like I said, again, that's the way it should be. The problem is that's just not the way it is.
No, because we're sick fucks out there.
There are sick fucks. There's people that don't care. There are predators in this world. And I think humans kind of exemplify really the best of both worlds. Like, people can be so giving and merciful and gracious and just full of love, and at the same time they can be the most hideous, gross, disgusting creatures on the planet.
Right, yeah, because I don't see dogs, like, going out of their way to just, I mean, other than maybe saving a baby from a burning building or some shit. Like, they're not, like, all gracious and, I mean, I don't know. Like, they're not, like, above and beyond, like, going and giving, like, to the poor and blah, 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 But I don't see them torturing anybody. I don't see them, whatever. They just have animal instincts and that's it. Like, they're not going out of their way just to kill you.
Them killer whales, though, those are a different breed.
Right, yeah. I mean, there are those that like to play with their food, like cats and killer whales. But
9 out of 10 times, animals just, they want to breed and they want to be.
And they want to eat.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. Right? If you are on the docket for a snake or a killer whale, you kind of know that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like humans who are insidious and that you don't know. They can turn on you in a minute, right? Like, and you're not expecting it. With a killer whale or I mean, the animals know. Like, the zebra's like, fuck, there's lions over there. Hey, Hank, watch my six because I'm going to sit here and eat some grass. Let me know if them lion bitches are over there waiting on us. You know what I mean?
They're gonna fucking bounce.
Like, they know, right? You're
Right.
like, the wildebeest coming up to the water edge, and they're like, fuck, there are crocodiles in here.
But
They
I'm
know.
thirsty.
They're like, yeah, but I am super thirsty. And it's like, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to fade to the back of the line. I can wait a little bit. And, like, as soon as that crocodile grabs Jerry, I'm fucking going for it.
Sacrificing Jerry.
Jerry, no!
Jerry,
But yeah.
Jerry. Sorry.
So, yeah, so this whole victimhood mentality, like, I really think there is a lot of false offense, meaning that you're stealing. It's kind of like the stolen valor thing, you know, like people that profess to have received the Medal of Honor, or they fought in combat and they didn't. You know, you're diminishing the service of another soldier or airman or Marine, seaman, whatever. You're diminishing the service. I feel like it's the same thing when everything in society becomes about, oh, woe is me, my feelings are hurt and the world is going to end. It's really not. You'll be okay. And most people just need to get a little bit thicker skin, I think. I mean, people don't give a shit about your feelings, Becky. Sorry, they don't.
Right. Well, and on the flip side of that, like, I feel like for some people, it's like, the reason why I'm so understanding of a lot of shit is because I've experienced a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Like, you have these young people that are coming in that just haven't experienced a whole lot. So, like, the things that offend them so drastically are because they haven't had anything really to compare it to. They haven't had something fucking offensive happen to them. They've only had this experience. That's it.
I mean, that's understandable, but here's the thing. Don't come barking at somebody if you can't take the bite.
True.
There's a lot.
Fucking mouth shut or get your feelings hurt.
Right.
Ooh. Ethel said, fuck around and find out.
Biatch.
She said if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen.
Right?
Right?
For sure.
And there's some truth to that. Like, you know, you get people that, and it's horrible on the internet. It's horrible. You know, we all play the Game of Thrones thing. It's horrible. You see it happen all the time in there. People are keyboard warriors. They talk a big game, but the minute somebody says something back to them, it becomes a crisis. It becomes a crisis. And I agree with you absolutely 100% mental when you say people haven't suffered. Most people haven't suffered. Most people have not went hungry. And I don't mean like you missed lunch or you didn't get dinner. I'm talking like 3, 4, 5 days, or you've really been raped, or you've had some kind of horrendous disease that you've had to fight back through, like something like a cancer or something like that, or you've seen your kid go through something like that. Like, our society is in such a good spot. We are so blessed with abundance in this country, and in a lot of Western civilized countries. We're so blessed with abundance that we are just like looking for shit to be offended by.
Right.
100%.
It's the whole like I want to say, you know, for their experience, like, their feelings are valid, because what they're experiencing is distraught for them, because that's as much as they've experienced, and it's in their world, and what they perceive as, you know, being shitty or being offensive. Like I said, like, you have every right to feel any type of way that you want to feel. It's when you start bullying people, it's when you start being fucking mouthy and mean and trying to, like, say shit and then turn around and being like, but wait, only I can say that. You can't say that because now I'm offended. Like, what the fuck?
No, exactly. It becomes a problem when you make it everyone else's problem.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, like, a lot of these people nowadays, they live in their own little world to where they believe that no one suffers, like, no one goes through what they go through, when in fact the reality is we all go through shit. We all go through some sort of hardships. So it's not like, oh, well, I missed my car note this month, so now the repo man's coming, I'm going to kill myself. No, it ain't that bad. Pay your car note. But that doesn't mean that you make everyone else around you miserable just because you are in a bad happenstance.
Sure. No, you're absolutely right. I think, you know what my boxing coach used to tell me? He's like, hey, Joe, he said, you're a pretty good boxer. But you know what? There's always somebody better. I think that applies in just about every circumstance ever. There's always somebody better. And on the flip side of that, there's always somebody that's got
worse
problems than you do, right?
Yeah.
Somebody that's suffered more. So, and you are so nice, Mental. I love that about you. You are so sweet. You are so, yeah, well, I'll tell you. You're like, I understand. Well, and I do to an extent, but like some things that people bitch and moan about, like I really have they are not valid. You say they're valid. They say, sorry, I was looking in the comments. You say that they have valid feeling, but I'll be honest with you. Some things that people get upset about, they think it's the end of the world, are not valid. They just aren't. Like, and a specific example eludes me right now, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you've heard people say, oh my God, my life's over because of this. And you're like, eye rolling. Come on. You guys have done it. You're like, oh my God, for real.
Yeah, my daughter's a prime example. I mean, it's like you tell her no, that she can't, fish her poop out of the toilet, and it's like the world's fucking over. You know what I mean? Like, bro, it's not even cool. Like, don't touch your shit. Okay? Like, we don't do that.
You can't put mouth, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Touching poo is a no-no.
Yeah. Tell her all the time. I mean, now she's gotten better, but you know what I mean? Like, that's just a prime example of, like, somebody who absolutely loses their shit over some shit that ain't even freaking valid.
Yeah, so I think that happens a lot, and I think that we as people, before we start bitching and moaning, and you know what, it's fine. If you want to have self-pity and do all that, or you want to be upset, like, it's your life. Like Vaela was saying, you said it perfectly, like, just don't make it my problem. Like, that sucks, okay, whatever, you missed your car payment, the repo man's knocking at the door. You don't have to make everybody else's life around you miserable because you missed your car payment. That sucks.
But misery loves company. And honestly, I feel like ultimately it's about some sort of human connection. Like, do you feel as pissed off about this one little thing as I do? Like, I want to connect with somebody, whether it be out of anger, hate, love, like, joy. It don't matter. Like, I feel like ultimately it all boils down to wanting to have somebody have your back, to be just as offended over some stupid ass bullshit or some actual, like, legit shit. Like, that happens too. It's not like everybody who complains about stuff, like, it's not legit. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like it all ultimately boils down to some sort of human connection, making a connection, having somebody in that specific, you know what I'm saying? Like, in that specific corner.
Hey, Mental, Vaela.
Yes.
I want to connect with y'all with love.
I would love to have this love triangle connection.
Trust me, I would love to connect with you with something else.
Plug it in. Well, you don't count, Hal.
It is a love rhombus.
It's a love circle. It's just as fucking continuous, okay? Like, I'm just coming back.
You just get the Coke chair, though, Hal.
Yeah.
Well, but I did say I'd like to connect all of you guys with some boxing gloves. I think that would be a great match. Like, I would love to, like, video that and put that on our Discord server, like, just boxing matches.
Can we choose one from the game?
Isn't this like parental abuse?
All three of you versus me.
I could beat the hell out of you.
Oh, shit.
Next episode, domestic assault.
Right.
But here's the thing. But you guys gotta wear lingerie, and I get to wear boxers.
And then you get the boxer shorts. I want to look like the fucking Karate Kid, okay? I want to have like this shit on the fucking forehead.
Wax on, wax off.
And she will wax off, okay?
Well, I was just needed the views. That's all I was saying.
We can box in some KY jelly or some shit. Some mud wrestling.
But
So I think that we kind of all see this way. So I'm going to ask our audience. We have signups, and of course, there's also Hal's hate mail. So if we've really pissed everybody off with this episode, that's cool. You can always throw that out. You guys can always let us know how horrible of people that we are. But if you have a differing viewpoint or whatever, we'd actually love to have you on the show for a civil discussion and debate. Not a bunch of yelling and screaming and victimhood mentality. But if you want to do something for real, I'm down with that. What about you, Mental?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah. And Vaela will be on our next show, too, because the way we're going to set this series up is our next guest will get the first half of the show, and then we will bring Vaela in, and we'll kind of have this whole roundtable discussion, which I think is a great idea. So,
I have one comment to make.
yeah.
Bone, you better wear the American flag Speedo. I want to see that shit.
I want to hear the eagle screeches.
Right from your butt cheeks.
Yeah, right from the ass crack.
Fresh out. Spread them wings. That's all. That's all I wanted to say.
Y'all are not right.
You're welcome.
So, Vaela, we do have, before we go, you're a producer on our show, of course. We have an award to give out. It's our first award. Do you want to induct the first awardee?
Yeah. Let me get it going here. Alrighty. So, whether you hate to love him or love to hate him, you cannot deny that he expertly shakes up the kingdom. We here at Halfurious Infuriated Incorporated give our first Silver Raven Award to none other than the one, the only Boneback. And this award is specifically for most banned from Discord servers.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop, air horn noises.
Congratulations, Boone.
Standing ovation.
Discord. We'll get that up in the awards section, right, Vaela?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have an awards section that'll go up there. We appreciate everyone for coming to the Closed Door Sessions and this series, Special Victims Unit. We look forward to having you guys back in 2 weeks, and I think that's a wrap. Do you guys got anything else before we head out?
No.
Yeah, peace out, bitches.
I love you, my ladies.
Love you.
All right,
Bye.
that'll conclude the episode. Bye.